name is Charlie, and she's 17 years old.
Her name is Jessica, and she's 18 years old.
Bailey is 17 years old.
She has gone 17 weeks and 2 days without cutting herself, and she's tried to kill herself 3 different times.
A year and 14 days ago, she was addicted to heroin.
And it has been 2 years since she's cut.
When she was a freshman in high school, she started dating a guy named Brian, and everything seemed perfect. But then, after a month and a half of dating, Ryan forced her to have sex with him.
It all started about 3 years ago when her past caught up with her.
She found out that she had depression when she was probably about 13 or 14 years old. And that's when things really started to go downhill for her.
Charlie was abused as a child, and the older she got, the more she realized how much she missed out on having a mother and a father that loved her.
She didn't know what to do, who to tell, and she ended up confiding in a good friend of hers who convinced her to break up with Ryan. After breaking up with Ryan, she went to her parents about what had happened, and they decided to take it to court.
Bailey entered middle school. It was the hardest couple years of her life. It seemed to her that things were going wrong all around her and that no one else could live up to what she was going through. No one else experiences the same thing that she did.
During the whole trial, Ryan lied about everything, and Jessica watched while Ryan's mom sat on the stand and lied for her son.
Charlie started cutting because the people that had the same problems as her cut too, and it helped them. Charlie continued to cut because she found that it did help her.
Bailey didn't start cutting herself until after she was diagnosed with severe manic depression and anxiety, which was when she was 13 years old.
She was cutting for 3 years on and off, and in 2010, her depression got more severe than it had ever been before.
A couple of years later, she started dating a different guy named David. Everything was incredible with him. One day, they were hanging out with their friend Kyle, and Kyle offered to get them ecstasy, and they agreed because they were curious and they thought it wasn't addictive, so there was no problem. When Kyle came back with the drugs, he told them that he'd gotten heroin instead.
Charlie tried to kill herself multiple times. She was in and out of hospitals.
Dawn, when she started cutting and she felt like she had a reason to die, then she felt she'd be better off dead and that nobody would miss her very much and that it would just be for the best.
When she was high, she was an awful person and she hated everything about herself and she wanted to die. She started cutting herself while she was high, and even though it hurt, it didn't matter to her. She felt when she was cutting that every pain in her life was escaping through the cuts that she'd made.
Bailey tried to kill herself in a number of ways, although never succeeding, and when she didn't succeed, she felt more low than before she had ever even tried.
One night, she carved the word hate into her arm. She hated who she was, and she had gotten to a point where she did heroin 4 or 5 times a day.
Nothing really changed in Charlie's life. Nothing miraculous happened that made her suddenly realize that she needed to stay on this earth. But one thing stayed consistent throughout her entire life that Charlie didn't realize until now. And that is that she is loved.
On December 21st, she was caught by her dad. She is so happy now that she was caught because even though he was furious at first, her parents decided to take her to counseling.
It was when people very close to Bailey started dying around her that she decided that she couldn't kill herself anymore. It was when she felt that pain of losing somebody that she knew that she could not do that to the people who cared about her, even if there were only a couple of them, she thought.
No matter how Many times, Charlie's friends and family told her that she was loved. She didn't believe it. And then one day, she decided to believe it. And the only way that she could fix herself was to fix it herself.
And ever since then, she's been clean. She hasn't thought once about going back to drugs.
She's gotten much better. She's much happier.
There's no way that she can deny that love heals.
She realizes now that she has a lot going for her, that she has amazing friends, amazing family, a great life, and the best job that anyone could ever ask for, and nothing can stop her now.
People underestimate the power of compassion for one another.
She still gets angry and has the urge to do stuff, but she never does it, and she never will.
And I think that Charlie's story changed a lot of her friends' lives, and made a lot of the people that love her realize how important it is to show each other that they love each other.
People shouldn't kill themselves, because even though life is hard now, you don't know what the future holds.
And so if you're going through a hard time right now, it'll end.
No matter how difficult the challenges you're facing right now are, nothing defines you until you let it.